Hello, my little cougars, or should I say, top of the morning, me little leprechauns, because as you know, St. Patty's Day is right around the corner. And with that in mind, I thought it might be fun and appropriate to do a St. Patrick's Day themed art project. So if you've got your pencil and your eraser and your colors close by, and if you're feeling the luck of the Irish, well, we'll get started right away. Well, two things that you absolutely have to celebrate St. Patrick's Day are leprechauns and shamrocks. And in another one of our videos, we worked together on drawing a leprechaun. So in this video, we're going to draw a shamrock and put it on a St. Patrick's Day card. In order to draw our shamrock, we're going to start with a circle right in the middle of our paper. And we're going to keep two things in mind. One is that we want to make it nice and big. It's going to go almost to the edges of our framed or bordered in area. So make it nice and big, don't make it tiny. It goes almost to the edges. And two, our circle is going to be nice and light. So imagine how big you want your circle to be. Move your hand lightly in the shape that you want it to be. And when you're ready, put your pencil down just a little bit at a time and draw a nice big circle. Now when it starts looking right to you, then you go over it a few times. It doesn't have to be absolutely perfect, but you want it to be nice and big. And I'm making mine a little bit darker than I should because I want you to be able to see it. But keep yours light enough so that if you wanted to, you could erase the whole thing and no one would even be able to tell that you used the paper. So there's my circle right about the middle of my paper, and you can see it only comes an inch, maybe an inch and a half away from the edges of my border. After I've drawn my circle, I'm going to draw a vertical line. That means a line that goes up and down, right down the middle of my circle, and another line that goes right across the middle of my circle that is horizontal, or it goes straight across. And I've divided my circle into 4 pieces of pie. After that, I'm going to take each one of these lines and I'm going to put a little curved triangle along the end, maybe from about the midpoint to the edge of the circle. It starts at the middle and then it goes to the end of the circle. When it gets close to the edge of the circle, it starts to curve so that it continues along the edge of my circle. It starts in the middle and then curves sort of like a triangle, sort of like a letter V. And now my 4 pieces of pie look like a shamrock, or at least it's starting to. Because the next thing I'm going to do, in the middle of each one of my pieces of pie, I'm going to put another one of those little triangles, but this time it's going to be a little bit smaller. Again, I'm drawing lightly so that I can erase it if I want to. And it looks sort of like 4 hearts that meet in the middle. But it also looks like a shamrock. At least it will look like a shamrock as soon as I put my stem on. So I'm just going to draw a curved line and then another curved line. And my stem gets a little bit thicker as it gets farther away from the shamrock. I'm going to erase the guidelines that I don't need. I can erase some of this in the center, and I don't need these guidelines that show how to draw a circle, so I'm going to erase those now. Now the last step for my shamrock is to go over my lines with a black marker to really define them. Now, instead of just taking green and coloring in our clover and taking maybe one color and coloring our background, we're going to try to make our picture look like a stained glass window. And the way that we're going to do that is by taking our pencil and going across maybe 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And if you notice, the lines don't go straight across. Some of them angle down, some of them angle up, but they go all the way across the paper, but they stay inside the square, and they go right across my shamrock. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You don't need to take a ruler. They don't have to be perfect, and they certainly don't have to be straight. Like I said, some of them angle down a little bit, some of them angle up a little bit, but they go pretty much straight across. So take a minute and do that. After I've done that, I'm going to do the same thing going vertically or up and down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And just like my shamrock, I'm going to go over my lines with a black marker. And my final step is to add some color. I'm going to use naturally green, maybe one shade of green, maybe several shades of green for my shamrock, and anything but green in my background. You can pick any colors that you want. And I said green and different colors, but I suppose you could have a blue shamrock or an orange shamrock or a multicolored shamrock or anything that you want. But I'm going to take a little bit of time to color my picture, and then you can work on coloring yours. Well, now my simulated stained glass shamrock is all finished and in full color, and I hope that if you do this project, you put a lot of time and effort into the coloring. The drawing itself really isn't much of a challenge, so it's all about whatever kind of creativity and effort you put into the coloring. So I really hope you do a nice job with that. I hope that this project puts you in the St. Patty's Day mood. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you look forward to working on the next project together. Until we get together again, stay creative, stay safe, stay Cougar strong. We'll see you soon.